My sister's boyfriend raised his glass, looked straight at me and said, "So what do you actually do again? Or do you just exist?" The table exploded in laughter. My dad chuckled. My mom hid a smile behind her napkin. Even my sister leaned into him like he'd just said something clever. And me? I just sat there, fork in hand, heat rising in my chest. Because this wasn't a joke. This was a setup. And the worst part, they were all in on it. But what none of them knew was that I had already seen something on his phone earlier that night. Something he definitely didn't want anyone at that table to know. So instead of reacting, I smiled, because I was about to let him finish. Dinner started like any other family dinner, which really meant I was invited, but not welcomed. My sister, Chloe, had been dating this guy Evan for about 2 months, and suddenly, he was everywhere, at the house, at events, at the center of attention. My parents loved him. Of course they did. Confident, loud, knew how to talk. The kind of person who makes a great first impression and hides everything else underneath. I met him properly that night. Firm handshake, too firm. The kind of grip that's less about greeting and more about dominance. "I've heard a lot about you," he said. I smiled politely. I hope it was accurate. He smirked. "Oh, I'm sure I'll figure that out." Yeah, that tone. I recognized it immediately. We sat down. Dinner was already set. My mom went all out, like always when she wanted to impress someone. And right from the start, he took over the conversation, talking about business, investments, big moves, the kind of vague success talk that sounds impressive until you actually listen closely. "So what do you do?" he asked me halfway through the meal. Casual, but not really. "I run a small logistics company," I said. He nodded slowly. "Small, huh?" There it was. I could feel it coming. "Yeah," I said calmly. "Started it a few years ago." He leaned back in his chair. "Must be nice," he said. "Low pressure. No real risk." My sister laughed. "Right? She's always been the safe one." Safe. I let that sit, because now I knew exactly what kind of night this was going to be. And then he did it. That line, that toast, that moment. "Do you actually do anything? Or just exist?" Laughter, approval, validation, all directed at him, at my expense. I took a sip of water, slow, controlled, because reacting now would give him exactly what he wanted. Attention, control, power, and I don't give those away for free. Instead, I remembered something. Earlier that evening, before dinner, when he asked to use the restroom and left his phone on the counter, unlocked, lit up, and buzzing. I wasn't snooping. I just saw it. A message, preview on the screen, from someone named Lena. "Did you tell her yet? Or still playing both sides?" My stomach dropped, because suddenly, his confidence made sense. His attitude, his need to dominate the room. He wasn't just trying to impress my family. He was hiding something. I didn't touch the phone, didn't open anything, didn't need to. That one message was enough. Back at the table, the laughter started fading. Everyone waiting for my reaction, my response, my humiliation. Instead, I set my glass down and smiled. "Good question," I said. He smirked. "Oh, I'm sure it is." I leaned forward slightly and looked right at him, because now it was my turn. The table was quiet now, not tense yet, but close. Everyone still expecting me to defend myself, to explain, to shrink. I didn't. I looked straight at him, still smiling. "Before I answer that," I said, "I have a question for you." He raised an eyebrow. "Go ahead." Confident. Too confident. "Do you usually juggle relationships while giving business advice?" I asked calmly. Silence. Immediate. Sharp. My sister's smile dropped. "What?" she said. He blinked. Once. Twice. Processing. "What are you talking about?" he said, forcing a laugh. Deflection. Predictable. I tilted my head slightly. "Lena," I said. Just the name, that's all it took. His face changed, not dramatically, but enough for everyone to see. "What about her?" he asked, too fast, too defensive. My sister turned to him. "Who's Lena?" He didn't answer. Of course he didn't. Because now, he wasn't in control anymore. "I don't know," I said lightly. "Maybe the one texting you about playing both sides." The room went dead quiet. No forks. No glasses. Just silence. My mom looked confused. My dad leaned forward. My sister? She was staring at him like she didn't recognize him anymore. Is that true? She asked. Her voice, smaller now. Not confident, not proud. Real. It's not what it sounds like, he started. Classic. Always the same line. Then explain it, I said calmly. No emotion. No anger. Just truth. And that's what made it hit harder. He looked around the table, searching for support, for someone to back him up. But no one moved. Because now, they weren't laughing. They were watching. It's just an old situation, he said. Weak. Unconvincing. Too late. Funny, I said, because that message didn't sound old. I leaned back, relaxed, because this wasn't even difficult. He did it to himself. I just said it out loud. My sister pushed her chair back slightly. Are you serious right now? She asked him. He reached for her hand. She pulled it away. And just like that, the dynamic flipped. The same table that laughed at me minutes ago, now completely silent, awkward, uncomfortable, focused on him. I picked up my fork again, took a bite. Calm, unbothered, because I wasn't here to destroy him. I just wasn't going to let him destroy me. Next time, I said quietly, looking at him, make sure your phone's not lighting up before you try to light someone else up. No one laughed. Not this time. I stood up, grabbed my bag, and looked at my sister. Not with anger, not with I told you so, just honesty. You deserve better than that, I said. Then I walked out. Funny thing is, he thought embarrassing me would make him look bigger, but all it did was show everyone exactly how small he really was. So tell me, would you have stayed quiet? Or done exactly what I did?